Milo, a tabby cat with stripes like licorice swirls, lived in a bustling city. He shared a cozy apartment with his human, Lily. Lily adored Milo. She showered him with cuddles, catnip mice, and endless bowls of tuna. Life was good. Milo spent his days napping in sunbeams and batting at dust motes. He greeted Lily with enthusiastic purrs when she returned from work each day. One afternoon, as Lily rushed out the door, her usual cheer seemed strained. "Don't worry, Milo," she said, scratching him under the chin. "Rent just went up, but we'll be fine." Her words were meant to reassure, but they sparked a new feeling in Milo's chest. It felt a lot like guilt, mixed with a dash of determination. He didn't like the worried crease on Lily's brow. He wanted to help. He watched Lily disappear down the hallway, her shoulders slumped. The sight stayed with him. Milo, for the first time in his life, felt a powerful urge to do something, to be more than just a pampered pet. He wanted to contribute to ease Lily's burden. An audacious idea began to form in his furry little head. He would get a job. The thought was so outlandish, so unexpected, that Milo startled himself with a hiss. He, a cat, with a job? It seemed impossible. Yet the more he pondered it, the more appealing the idea became. He imagined strutting back to the apartment, his head held high, a tiny paycheck clutched between his teeth. The image brought a pleased rumble to his throat. He padded over to the window, gazing out at the city below. Cats and humans intermingled on the bustling sidewalks. Pigeons strutted, their feathers iridescent in the afternoon sun. It was a world of endless possibilities, a world where a determined cat could surely find his place. Days turned into nights, and Milo couldn't shake the idea of finding a job. He observed Lily's routine, trying to decipher the intricacies of human employment. He watched her type away on her laptop, her brow furrowed in concentration. He listened to her phone conversations, noting the seriousness in her tone. The world of work seemed complex, but Milo was not one to back down from a challenge. His resolve solidified. Milo knew he had to take the first step. He needed a resume, a tiny testament to his skills and experience, or lack thereof. It was time to put his paw to paper, or rather paw to keyboard. Creating a resume proved to be more difficult than Milo had anticipated. For starters, his typing skills left much to be desired. After several failed attempts involving spilled milk and tangled yarn, he decided to dictate his qualifications while Lily was at work. He perched on her desk, his tail twitching with anticipation, and began to speak. Milo's resume, he dictated, puffing out his chest. Skills expert cuddler, professional napper, skilled hunter of dust bunnies and stray crumbs, can purr on demand. He paused, realizing his work experience was somewhat limited. References. Available upon request from my mother, who thinks I'm very handsome. Satisfied with his masterpiece, Milo carefully printed out the tiny resume. He added a paw print signature for good measure, leaving a small smudge of black ink on the paper. It felt official, important. He held the resume in his mouth, the paper crinkling between his teeth. This, he thought, was his ticket to a brighter future, a future where he could finally contribute to his little family. With his resume in hand, or rather, mouth, Milo ventured out into the city. The sun warmed his fur, and a gentle breeze carried the scent of freshly baked bread. Excitement bubbled in his chest. He was a cat on a mission, a furry job seeker ready to take on the world. Milo's first stop was a hipster cafe called the Perfect Cup. With its exposed brick walls and the aroma of freshly ground coffee, it seemed like the ideal place to begin his career. He imagined himself as a barista, crafting lattes with delicate paw-drawn designs in the foam. He strutted through the door, his resume held high, and approached the counter.
"Can I help you, little guy?"
Milo meowed loudly, dropping the resume onto the counter. The barista unfolded it carefully, her smile widening.
"A resume, that's adorable, but I'm afraid we don't hire cats, health code and all that."
Dejected but not defeated, Milo collected his resume and slunk out of the cafe. His dreams of being a latte artist were dashed. The city, it seemed, was not quite ready for a feline barista. Undeterred, Milo continued his job hunt. He passed a bakery, a bookstore, and a shoe store, but none of them seemed like the right fit. Finally, he arrived at Pet Paradise, a sprawling emporium dedicated to all creatures great and small. Milo, thinking, perfect. Who better to work at a pet store than a pet? He marched inside, his confidence renewed. The store was a cacophony of squeaks, chirps, and the occasional bark. Hamsters ran on wheels, Parrots squawked from their cages and fish shimmered in their tanks. Milo navigated the aisles, his nose twitching at the unfamiliar scents. He found the manager, a burly man with a kind face, and presented his resume.
So, you want to be a security guard, eh?
The manager chuckled, reading the tiny resume.
Well, we do have a bit of a mouse problem.
Milo puffed up his chest, imagining himself as a fearsome protector, patrolling the aisles and ensuring the safety of all the furry and feathered residents. The manager, however, had other ideas.
How about you start as a product tester? We're always looking for honest feedback on our catnip mice.
Disheartened by his lack of success, Milo found himself in the city park. The setting sun cast long shadows across the grass, and the air was filled with the sound of children's laughter. He settled beneath a large oak tree, watching a group of squirrels chase each other up and down the trunk.
You seem troubled, young one.
Milo looked up to see a wise old owl perched on a branch, its amber eyes gleaming in the fading light. The owl, known throughout the park as Professor Sophocles, was rumored to be centuries old and possessed an uncanny understanding of the world. Milo, I want to find a job, but no one seems to take me seriously.
The path to fulfillment is rarely straightforward. Sometimes, the greatest opportunities are the ones we create for ourselves.
Professor Sophocles' words resonated with Milo. He had been so focused on finding a traditional job that he hadn't considered other possibilities. As he pondered the owl's wisdom, a flash of silver caught his eye. A young girl was struggling to reel in her fishing line, her face a picture of frustration. Milo, ever the curious cat, padded over to investigate. The girl, her cheeks flushed with effort, looked up at him with surprise.
Hi there, kitty. Do you think you can help me? I think I've caught a big one.
Milo watched as the girl continued to reel in her line, her small hands shaking with the effort. He couldn't help but feel a surge of sympathy for her predicament. He nudged her leg gently with his head, as if to say, "Don't worry, I'm here to help." To their astonishment, a large, shimmering goldfish emerged from the depths of the pond. But this was no ordinary goldfish. It wore a tiny monocle and a look of utter annoyance.
Good heavens, child, must you be so rough?
The goldfish, who introduced himself as Finnegan, turned out to be quite the entrepreneur. He had grand plans for a business venture unlike any other and was in dire need of an assistant. Milo, with his charm and unwavering determination, seemed like the perfect candidate.
I'm opening a catnip and consultation service, a place where felines can relax, enjoy some premium catnip, and receive expert advice on navigating the complexities of city life.
Milo's eyes widened. It was the perfect solution, a business tailor-made for his unique skills. He could be the official greeter, the catnip connoisseur, the purveyor of comfort and wisdom. With Finnegan's guidance and Milo's boundless enthusiasm, catnip and consultation became an instant success. Cats from all over the city flocked to the cozy storefront, eager to sample the exotic catnip blends and share their woes with the empathetic Milo. Milo discovered that his true talent wasn't in making lattes or guarding pet supplies, but in providing companionship and a listening ear. He had a knack for making others feel comfortable, for offering a warm purr and a gentle nudge of encouragement. News of Milo's success reached Lily, filling her with pride. She watched in amazement as her once lazy house cat blossomed into a confident entrepreneur. The worried crease on her brow disappeared, replaced by a look of pure joy. As Milo curled up beside Lily that night, a wave of contentment washed over him. He had finally found his place in the world, a place where he could use his unique talents to bring joy to others. And it all started with a simple desire to help, a tiny resume, and a whole lot of heart. For Milo, the ambitious tabby cat, the perfect job had been waiting all along, hidden within the depths of his own compassionate soul.